Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Force Chapter 199. When we last left our heroes, Hibana returned to St. Raphael's Convent to do some investigating about the fire when she was a kid with Iris, and some investigation into doppelgangers that she suspects is tied up with the convent. And she found out that there might be... We got a little bit of Hibana backstory. She swore revenge against the Whiteclads. And she realized there might be an entrance to the Nether in the convent altar. That's the one place the sisters never went, so they never would have found it. Also, before we begin, I have a bit of a sore throat, so water bottle day, you know. So yeah, let's jump right on into Chapter 199, A Slumbering Truth. And our cover picture here is of a flower with a creepy smile on it. In this flower, hatred lurks. And so we open right where we left off, with Hibana at the altar. Beneath this altar, there could very well be an entrance to the Nether. But how am I going to move something so huge? And then she kicks at it. Bastard! Didn't even budge. And then she looks at the altar again. But this altar, what was it even for again? And someone comes in, probably Kareem. Offering would be my guess. And Hibana turns to look, and yep, it's Kareem and Hoyan. Kareem kind of looks at her. Are you really your former sister? The hell are you doing here? There was a matter we wanted to discuss with you. With me? What's brought you all the way out here? We wanted to ask you about the doppelgangers. And Hibana gets a serious look on her face. You too, huh? And goddamn Kishri just let you waltz on through? Well, you can see how far I've gotten. My guess is there's something under this thing, but I don't know what to do about it. I'm at a dead end. And Kareem readies his fire-freezing contraption. I can help with that. Can you produce some flames from beneath? Is that an order? And Hoyan comes in. I'll take care of it. And Hibana whips at her fan. It's fine. I'll do it. Oh, Rose Whip! And she gets her flames all in whip shape as they all kind of converge under the altar. Thermoacoustic refrigeration. And her vine flames all start to freeze over. And it upends the altar, the newfound weight of the flames. And the altar falls over. Any luck? As the remaining flame kind of dissipates, the dust clears. And there's a trapdoor there. Yep. And Kareem grabs the trapdoor and opens it, where they find a staircase. I knew it! A staircase to the Nether! Why would this be in a blessed convent? Why do you think, Hoyan? So Hibana takes a step in and lights a little flower flame. Looks like the underground was untouched by the fire. Lord, forgive us, Hoyan is praying as they enter. And they find what looks like a study. Perfectly preserved, books still on the bookshelves, a globe is just in there. Why is a place like this underground? This doesn't line up with the church's teachings at all. It appears you were right. I'd really hoped it was all a lie. And then they hear counting. Oh no, it's Hibana that's counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pillars. The same number as the Adola Burst human pillars. Something stinks here. It smells like smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire. I have a feeling we'll find a clue here. Somewhere here. And Hibana starts looking around. There's got to be an answer to the mystery of human combustion here. The fire that took the convent. Someone started it. And I'm sure there's proof of it here. And she finds a notebook, and she kind of brushes it off. A botanical book? And she flips through it. It's a completely ordinary botanical volume. And Hoyan has found another one. This one, too, an agronomy textbook. And agronomy is relating to the science and technology of producing and using plants in agriculture for food, fuel, fiber, etc. So this one, too, an agronomy textbook. And he turns to Hibana. Does this mean anything? Does this mean anything to you, Captain Hibana? And Hibana looks at him. Agronomy? What would that have to? And she flashes back to the sisters watering the garden. No, you're overthinking things. And she finds another one. This one's a book on bugs. Oh. That's definitely tied to the flame bugs. But I don't think there's nothing much with plants that like the white clouds aren't using any kind of plant, are they? But then she flashes back again to the hose hitting the plants, and she's like visibly sweating, thinking about something. There's insect specimens over here. Kareem's found something. Bugs and plants. All these books are full of nothing. And she remembers seeing a bug on the leaf of that garden. I'm a little bit confused that Kareem would find bugs to be nothing, given everything that happened in the Company 1 arc. But I don't know. They go out of their way to make a room like this and stock it with reference materials on bugs and plants, assuming they were carrying out experiments on turning the sisters into doppelgangers. Why isn't there any concrete details on them? Just what is this place? So I'm flashing back right now to that little bit in Full Metal Alchemist, where I think they're looking through Marco's reference materials, and Ed explains that alchemists make their reference materials in code so that non-alchemists can't read them. And I have a feeling the White Clads might have been doing something similar with this room, just like in just in case it was ever found out kind of thing. Anyway, Hibana reaches for another book, and Hoyan looks over her shoulder. A cookbook this time? And she flashes back to two sisters at dinner, or lunch, or some meal, and she focuses on the sister putting food in her mouth. It's looking like this might just be a materials warehouse after all. But Hibana very clearly does not think that. We see Hibana's getting more and more panicked, as Kareem's just thinks this is all a waste of time. And she has an image of the bowl and of the sister putting the soup in her mouth, and we hear this kind of sound effect. And the bug, an image of the bug, a really creepy image of the bug, and she freaks out and she starts throwing up in her mouth, or trying to stop herself from throwing up. And Hoyan looks at her. What's wrong? Don't tell me. That whole time we were. Did you figure something out? They were producing us. Like crops. They gave the sisters the names of flowers. Oh, so she brought that up last week as a kind, gentle thing. Of course, we raised flowers. Why wouldn't we be named after flowers? But that turns that whole dynamic on its head. What the hell are you trying to say? Is this place important after all? They gave us the names of flowers. And the bugs. And the image of Sister Sumire. I don't know if it's an image, or if it's just, like she's actually there. But I literally just got goosebumps with the sudden appearance of Sumire. You can't have flowers without bugs. And she snaps around. They all seem to see her too. Sister Sumire. You remember, right? The name Sister Sumire? Why, here? Oh, it's Jonah. It's somehow Jonah. And then we have a translator note here. For the first time in the series, Sumire's name is spelled with a kanji meaning something like charcoal servant. Alright. A person who shouldn't exist in a place that shouldn't exist. That is the truth that is revealed. To be continued in chapter 200, Holy Mother of Darkness. Okay. So, a lot of shit going on in this chapter. As Hibana starts to piece together exactly what the hell her childhood was. But before we get there, let's talk about the first half. So I was right. This is a Kareem and Hibana arc. It's just also a Kareem, Hibana, and Hoyan arc, which I should have expected, but I kind of didn't at the time. So yeah, Hoyan is here as well. Makes sense. Anyway, so then we have the real bulk of the chapter is, of course, them reaching the research room study kind of place, and just doing their investigation. We don't know yet why the 8 pillars are there. Maybe it means something, maybe it's just kind of ceremonial. I imagine future chapters will explain that. But we have not had that. We haven't really gotten that explained yet. And we also don't quite have the details of what exactly was being done to make them crops. How exactly the food ties in. Like, Hibana says we were being raised as crops, right? And it's not yet explained what exactly the food did. Like, I'm presuming the flame bug is involved, of course, and that the bug bite makes people become flame humans, of course. But it has not yet been. I don't quite know how exactly the food affected that. Maybe the flowers just like. Maybe there was a property in the flowers that when the flame bugs like ate the nectar or something, they became from regular bugs to flame bugs. I don't know. But anyway, Sumire is here. Which is probably going to be a Jonah thing. Especially because Sumire seems to not the name Sister Sumire, as if that's like a fake name. It's also, I'm sure people will bring this up immediately, is very Promised Neverland. Like, especially if Sumire is revealed to have been in on this raising thing the whole time, that's super Promised Neverland. Almost like borderline ripoff Promised Neverland. Though the way it ties into everything else, I'm not gonna say, oh, Okubo is just ripping off Promised Neverland. But if Sumire also, like, was a victim of this too, of course, that's very different. So yeah, a really, really shocking chapter this week. But that's all I have to say for this week's chapter. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!